All right, what's up, everybody? Look, CoinShares just released their fund flow report, which basically highlights where the big money is going in crypto. And we actually got some interesting news and some interesting insight as to what the whales are doing this week. So let's go ahead and let's check it out. Now, as I mentioned before, we are here on CoinShares. Go check them out down below. But what you can see here is that we can see, again, the weekly flows and where the liquidity is going in crypto. Now, of course, if it's positive, that means money was flowing into that crypto. If it's negative, money was flowing out of that crypto. Looking at this thing, what we can see here is that Bitcoin held the vast majority of the inflows this week at $702 million, being followed by Ethereum with a negative $6 million outflow, meaning that more money came out of Ethereum than went into Ethereum, which is interesting, and the title of this video kind of implies that. Multi-asset was 2.4 million, so of course that's just multiple different cryptos, multiple different altcoins. Solana sitting at a beautiful $13.4 million inflow in the last week, being then followed by something like Litecoin at, of course, 0.3, XRP at 0.1, and Cardano 0.6, and then 0.2 for others. So quite clearly what you can see here is not only has Solana been outperforming substantially and compared to anything you can think of, something like XRP, ADA, of course, Ethereum, but I mean, Ethereum went negative this week. Ethereum had outflows, and this says something to me. It actually says two things to me, two things that I actually deem to be extremely important, okay? The first thing it says is that it proves our point that Ethereum is kind of becoming something that can be replaceable in the future, right? Everyone said, well, Ethereum's a legend and Ethereum's a staple. And of course, it's like the God altcoin and all of these crazy things. And I've always said it. You guys know we've been covering Solana for two to three times every single week for the last 2 to 3 years straight, right? And I've consistently said, I think Solana can replace and kind of add value to the same places that Ethereum does. Maybe not completely replace it, maybe not even flip it market cap wise, but definitely take market share from it, right? It can definitely take market share from it. And when we see things like this, and when we see weeks or months like this, where the flows and the funds are going to Solana, either instead of Ethereum or from Ethereum to Solana, it just further solidifies that point that Solana quite easily can capture even more market share from Ethereum going into this bull market. And so when you think about that, my whole $1,000 Solana thing, it becomes a little bit more realistic, especially for those of you who don't think that it's possible. Now, the other thing it tells me is that we are for sure out of the bear market, right? I know that's kind of like a given and that's kind of like an obvious thing, but things like this kind of even give me further confirmation that we're not, in my opinion, going to see lows that are lower than the bear market lows we saw last year or 2022. I just don't see that happening because what we're seeing is the funds starting to slowly trickle from those more stable cryptos and most stable ecosystems to the less stable ecosystems or the less credible ecosystems, right? You never really see funds flowing from something like an Ethereum, which most people know about, to something like Solana, which most people don't necessarily know about, especially in the mainstream or amongst the institutional investment scene, right? And the fact that we're finally starting to see some of those funds, even though it's tiny right now, but still happening, some of those funds flowing from something like Ethereum into Solana or into Solana instead of Ethereum, and seeing that fuel the growth of these ecosystems, it tells me that we're definitely in a situation which the macro is more risk on, and that's amazing for something like Solana. And so when you compare those two things, especially with the other things of the world right now, the Bitcoin having the interest rate drops, all that good stuff, it's a perfect mixture for a Solana or something similar to get to, extreme all-time highs, even higher all-time highs than what we've seen previously. And you guys saw my video from yesterday highlighting the amount of new monthly users at 10, 11, 12 million every single month, and I believe it can get to 30, 40, 50 million every month. It's a perfect combination. So what I wanted to do is just kind of show you guys this. Like, this isn't just me speaking. This isn't me just being a moon boy on Solana. The fact is in the stats. The proof is in the pudding. We're seeing more money from these institutional and smart investors flowing into something like Solana, and that just sets this thing up perfectly to, in my opinion, be a dominating force of this bull market. So I just wanted to give you all a bit of an update on that. Of course, I hope you guys are enjoying this new style. I actually did just announce that because of the fund flow report that I would be picking up some more Bitcoin, Solana, and a tiny bit of ADA Cardano. So if you do want to see whenever I do personally make buys, trades, sells, my portfolio, exclusive content, exclusive live streams, stuff like that, I do have a Patreon down below. And I will also let you guys know I did work out a deal for you in which you can get $20 back if you make a $100 deposit over on DeepCoin. DeepCoin, you can trade pretty much every altcoin that you can think of, and there's a ton of other features that you can use to trade. And so I would recommend anybody who can use DeepCoin, go down to the link down below, check out DeepCoin Exchange. Again, if you deposit $100, you're going to get $20 back, which is a 20% gain. chain, and you're going to get a $100 voucher for fees, meaning you can trade completely for free until you go through that $100 fee voucher. It's an absolutely amazing deal. One of the best, especially if you're learning how to trade right now, especially on leverage and things like that. So go check that out down below, of course, and I will be updating you consistently. I have more videos coming tomorrow, one about Bitcoin and one about altcoins in general. So stay tuned for that, and I will see you all next time. Peace out, everybody.